Hi, Jen from Jen Michelle Coaching, and today I want to talk about what to do if he's cheating. And I know that if a woman finds out that her guy is cheating and there is an agreement of exclusivity in any stage of a relationship, this can feel completely devastating. And so I want to talk about what to do when he's cheating if you want to bring the relationship back, you want to stay together, and you want to be able to grow past it in a way where you can reestablish trust, you can reestablish a new foundation, and grow together as a couple. So, as I said, it can feel completely like the end of the world when we get this devastating news. And so, when we get information that is really difficult to hear, the first thing we want to do is we get flooded and we want to react right away. We want to do something. So when we react really strongly and we don't sort of have our full, clarity on what we're feeling and what we want to do, we tend to create more damage, and we end up, having him sort of feel like he can dig his heels in and say, you're acting crazy, or I don't have to deal with this. And then suddenly it all feels like our fault, right? And so I want to talk about what you can do so you can approach the conversation and approach with clarity what it is you want in a way that's not going to create more damage, him getting defensive, him justifying his behavior, and inspiring him to really reflect on his actions and what you mean to him, and to really sort of want to give his best to the relationship. Number one, you want to gain control over your emotions. And this means that you are allowing that intensity, that urgency, that sense of a tiger chasing you feeling, you're allowing that to pass first. And I know that this can feel extremely difficult because we instantly want to really just confront, attack, hurt. We want to, spew a bunch of things that are angry, hurtful, and are going to hurt him as badly as he hurt us, type of thing. And consider this is not going to serve you if you're making the decision to really want to try to work it out and see if you can come back together as a couple. And so I would first invite a woman to allow those emotions to pass, to allow the intensity of those emotions to die out. Sleep on it. You will be amazed when you sleep on it, the clarity that comes the next day when you're a little less flooded, when some of that momentum and that intensity has died down. You're able to approach it from a very different space within you, and you'll be able to speak from your heart in a way that he can hear, instead of lashing out and sort of letting those emotions completely run the show. Number two, you want to also, in this time of clarity, think about what you want. Is this relationship worth salvaging to you? Is this something that you want to do? Do you want to stay together? Or do you want to use this as an opportunity for a fresh start? Consider both are options that can come from a very empowered space. Both options require strength, as long as they're coming from a place of empowerment. And so really being able to evaluate what it is you want from a space of abundance and worthiness, versus feeling like you have to make this work because it's your only opportunity, type of thing, or you're listening to some of that negative feedback that maybe you've heard from friends, relatives, and just our society in general. Just really tuning into what it is you want and why, and making sure that the decision you make comes from an empowered space and an abundant space from within you. Number three, recognize your own self-worth and don't internalize his actions to mean that there's something wrong with you. As women, our instinct is to turn inward and look for a reason to blame ourselves or to put it on us, whereas men, their instinct is to put it outward and get angry and sort of put it elsewhere. And so as women, it's really important that if our partner has cheated on us, that we do not internalize that, and we maintain a sense of strength, a sense of confidence, a sense of just deep love and compassion for ourselves. We're not looking for reasons we're not good enough, or why, we weren't enough, or any of those sort of narratives that can be triggered when our partner has betrayed us. And so really paying attention to, are you internalizing this? Are you making it your fault? And if so, how can you stop that dialogue in its tracks and redirect it to something that's just more loving and more supportive of the woman that you are? Number 4, when you do talk with him, I always recommend using I statements, not you statements, right? You makes us defensive when we hear the word you. So communicating your emotional experience using I statements and expressing how it feels for you and how you're processing it in a really open and thoughtful way, and setting very clear boundaries for the future. If he is remorseful, empathetic, and open to starting fresh, but setting clear expectations and boundaries on what you need within the relationship and that trust that needs to be reestablished, and recognizing that it's very different to be a human with needs than being a sort of needy woman. You're allowed to have needs and you're allowed to express those boundaries. And if they're broken, you get to decide, this may not be right for me. But making your boundaries clear and honoring them is critical for any loving, trusting, just relationship to have that ease and flow that we all desire. So if you've gone through, or if you're experiencing anything like this right now, I hope that these 4 tips are really helpful to you in your situation. I know how tough a situation like this can be. So if you would like more resources, please check out my site at jenmichellecoaching.com. I have several blogs written on this, and I have a playlist on this channel for conflict in relationships that you may also want to check out. Have a great day, and I look forward to any comments or feedback.